Hey YouTube, this is Carl, KC8YLT. This is the second part of a video I'm uploading. This is for the uniden grant that I was talking on this morning to Bella in Florida on the breakfast net. And I just want to show it off a little bit, or show what I've done. And I just finished converting this last night. This is a 20-meter band conversion to a uniden grant. Here on channel 1, the frequency I start out with is approximately 13.98 megahertz. The channel selector moves in 5 kc steps. The clarifier or voice lock fine tuning, that moves a total of 5 kcs. We don't have a CW mode yet added to the transmit side of the radio. That's something I'm still working on. But I wanted to show you the board right here. You'll see an electrolytic capacitor right there. That is injecting modulation off the microphone through the mic gain down to the main board. That gives me a little bit extra audio punch. That red wire there, that's part of the clarifier circuit. Black wire is a ground wire to go on the board ground. We'll come back here. You'll see two 100 picofarad disc capacitors. Those are added to the first stage RF for the receive amplifier transformer. There's a transformer there coming into the antenna circuit. That disc capacitor helps that coil resonate down on 14 megahertz, 20 meters. The second disc capacitor that goes over into the receive mixer circuit, that cuts across the can. That brings the resonance of that can down to 20 meters. And there's a couple resistors changed in the receive circuit to give it more gain. The two wire jumpers you see there is one of the cans was removed to give me a little bit extra receive sensitivity. It didn't seem to affect the how can I explain, by removing it I don't really get any extra hash and trash from outside frequencies. Okay, we'll come over here. That disc capacitor right there is 100 picofarads also. There's a transformer there that connects to. One side connects to ground, one side connects to that transformer. You'll see a center leg there. It's been desoldered from the board. That's the broadband. That's for the transmit and receive mixer signal. There's a signal that comes off that circuit through that little coaxial line over to the receive mixer, and also it feeds the transmit mixer IC. You'll see a 56 picofarad disc there cutting across that can to bring it down to 20 meters. That's a resistor used on the SO42P IC. Give me a little more gain on transmit. If I keep my hand from shaking. Right there, the can coming off the transmit mixer, the SO42P IC chip. That can right there has a capacitor cutting across it, bring it down to resonant down to 20 meters. The can coming off of that, I'll have to show you. It's been pulled. That was cutting my. I wasn't able to bring it down to 20 meters. Back here, several components been removed from the RF amplifier circuit. We'll come here. Let's see. Right in there is the probably about center screen is the VCO coil, which has been rewound. I bought those bulk from a company out west. About 500 of them. I have to dewind them. I don't have to rewind them, but I have to dewind them down to about 9-10 turns. Now that'll let me lock on the 20-meter band. That enables me to use a channel selector to change my frequencies. No transverter, no external VFO. We're down in the CW portion of 20 meters right now. The SWR meter has been disconnected. That circuit no longer functions when I do my conversions. Okay.
Your antenna does just what mine does here, and they talk. Secondly,
there's a maritime net on here earlier.
Yeah, I'm going to give my traffic
See if I can
call and
jump in there.
now I have two of his antennas. Maybe you can talk to me and tell me how to set it up, because I know he's got more than one hooked up. He's got 4 on his property. I got a picture to prove it. And he's also, I think it must be a 40 meter. It's a big one. Wow, I'd love to have one of those.
That's not the net.
Yeah, I'm thinking I got one. He used to. We got together and let me look. I don't have anything down for next Friday, so maybe we'll do it again then. N5SUFWA.
Antenna tuner. Power supply. External speaker.
Okay, yours. I hope, by the way, you haven't said much about Marion, but I hope she's doing a lot better.
Let's flip it over. I'll show you what's going on inside here. So come back here to the RF compartment. As you can see, there's a can between the transmit mixer IC. There's a capacitor added to the bottom of that can. One can's been removed. There's been some capacitors removed, but that's part of a 27 megahertz pre-driver circuit. It's 2SC 1973. I keep that in there. For final drive, 2SC 2078. I love that transistor. It works well even down on 40 meters. The transistor you see here that's mounted by itself is a 7808 voltage regulator used to give me bias for the RF output transistor. That feeds that. Those chokes, you see there, the wire wound ones. The little one on the left, it goes through the bias supply between the variable resistor on the board. There's about 65 millivolts goes through that. And the larger choke, that came from over here on a DC power plug. You can't really tell, but I'm using that as a choke going to the collector. That's to help prevent RF from going back into the power supply. Small switching relay. That signal that comes off the transmit mixer can, which is about right there in the center of the screen. What that relay does, it switches between transmit and receive. Gives me a little more efficiency. I buy those relays pretty much bulk. There's another one back here that right there at the center of the screen. That is for switching the antenna between transmit and receive, and it turns the 12 volts on to the 7808 bias regulator. Let's see if we can make a contact. I'm going to try.
But I didn't get the rig and the antenna, so would you repeat that over?
Get something to write with here because I'm having a hard time remembering people's calls. Next video I'm going to make is with the newer style Cobra 148. I got one here I converted to 40 meters. I'll be showing y'all here soon. My antenna is a vertical dipole. It's about 20 feet off the ground. I've been working on it, and I got mad, just stuck it back up in the air. I've got to make something a little more efficient. High band on this radio starts on channel 15. I think that's approximately 14.23 megahertz.
Can be 4 to see what the temperature was here. And haven't been doing much here this winter. Canceled on the sweatshirt. Ohio against the world.
Contact. Kilo Charlie 8, Yankee Lima Tango. Hopefully I didn't walk on anybody.